Alrighty, guys, we are back. It's your boy EQ, and up next we have how the Drake and DJ Academics situation just got way worse. That was a fantastic hip hop for the video. DJ Academics exposed himself as being one of the Kendrick Lamar K-bots when he accidentally revealed what the #1 song on his Spotify and rap, which was, drumroll please, Not Like Us, which only cements the fact for me that, yeah, man, the dude has been pulling this act, pardon the pun, to basically generate more money because it seems the more he leans into the Drake glazing, the more money he makes. Because obviously, he's never going to have a relationship with Kendrick Lamar. I don't think Kendrick Lamar is the type of person who want to associate with somebody like a DJ Academics, which is only evident to the numerous times he's thrown subs his way. And Academics definitely seems like the one to be compromised. Because even with the fact that he was trying to run with the narrative that he was playing Not Like Us back to back with Family Matters, that obviously doesn't align with what we saw, because Family Matters was #4. And if that really were the case, I'm pretty sure that record should be #2, or at the very worst, #3. The act is just exposing what I've already felt about him. I've felt for most of this beef that the dude was really putting on an act because of the vast amount of money he was raking in. And who knows, Academics may be the mole that everyone has been on the search for, that everyone said was in Drake's camp. I mean, the dude was getting information firsthand from Drake, so it wouldn't be an implausible theory to think that, yeah, he was the mole. And it's not like we don't have years of footage of Academics exalting Kendrick Lamar to be his favorite MC, saying that all his albums were classics, just for this beef to come around and him do a complete 180. But those OVO checks are definitely hitting. And even if they're not coming directly from the OVO camp, obviously him going viral with these extremely deranged hot takes, man, has him making a lot of money. So enough dilly-dallying, let's jump right into the video. Again, we have how the Drake and DJ Academic situation just got way worse.
Now, one of the strangest but also most hilarious things in hip hop right now has been that after becoming the laughing stocks of the genre, both in terms of being an MC and being a voice within the culture, now Drake and DJ Academics have reached a point so low.
Well, after a certain while, you keep providing these delusional, questionable hot takes, which people can see right through. You start questioning your integrity. They start questioning your credibility, because obviously it seems like you're saying things I don't even think you truly believe yourself.
Where instead of embarrassing themselves by crashing out on other people, they are now at odds with one another, as after a few streams where Academics was being rarely critical of Drake, as it started to seem like Ak was facing major consequences from Drake, as he was hopping on live with some of Ak's competition and feeding other people in hip-hop media news that he would usually get. Ak quickly started to backtrack on his negative comments and then just praise and try to make Drake look greater than ever before. But now, after it was pretty clear that Ak's recent change of pace and narrative creating to help Drake in this time was more out of fear for Drake and having something come out about the truth between them on all levels over everything else, this act that was going on behind the scenes just ended up crumbling in really one of the funniest but also jarring ways for the state of hip-hop as a whole that we have seen in quite some time. Because while in almost every manner possible of what Academics was doing, he had kept his tracks
It's almost like DJ Academics is going through the phases of a bitter ex.
covered and was checking every weird box he needed to show his audience, OVO, and Drake most importantly that he really is a stan of his. And in general, no matter what the outcome of the beef was and all the trouble Drake is in at the moment, that he is still standing on everything he has said over the years.
Well, I mean, it's honestly in Academics' best interest that he maintains this relationship. He got, like I said earlier, a lot of firsthand knowledge that he was able to debut on stream, which is what made him the go-to guy for this beef. And obviously he benefited tremendously from being able to premiere some of those records on stream. So yeah, man, obviously he wants to keep that relationship intact no matter how much he truly is a stan for Kendrick.
One thing has ruined everything for Academics and is seriously going to change his career and the state of hip-hop in terms of the information coming out in general. Now, before we get any further into this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, it helps me out a ton. And so now with what Academics did, that has just pulled the curtain down on what we can now say is the fortune he has built on just lying and deceiving his audience, revolved around one of the most
He's grifting.
talked about moments in every music fan's year in none other than Spotify Wrapped. And now with the 2024 yearly listening recaps just dropping, Ak shared his, and already from here, we saw that while his most listened to artist in 2024 was Drake, his second was Kendrick Lamar. And because of this, Ak was already getting a lot of backlash. And between this and the fact that he had been more critical of Drake recently, his supporters, who majority are also Drake stans, were ready to just lose it on him. But Big Ak saved himself by having Kendrick Lamar at #2 by turning it into a way to praise Drake once again in a manner and saying that it was because of the beef that Ak gave more attention to Kendrick and turned it into a sentiment to make Drake sound even greater.
Well, obviously that's true. If you're analyzing a beef, it's going to be obvious you're going to have both competitors in your most listened to records because you are breaking them down. But the fact that two of Akademiks' top three were Kendrick Lamar records, man, definitely has him looking a certain way. Like I said before, man, this guy has a bunch of footage of him exalting Kendrick Lamar. That he's clear cut the number one guy, with number two in the rest of the field very, very distant.
He is bringing up anybody whose name is attached to him at all. And I mean, for the situation he was in, this was a pretty decent cover-up, I guess. But now after this, what happened next with Axe showed that on a lot of levels, a lot of what he has said this year and tried to paint about Drake has pretty much been a sheer and utter lie. Because after flipping through his Spotify on stream, he accidentally showed us his top 100 most listened to songs of the year, and really in what is going to go down as one of the most hilarious clips, but also revealing in terms of where
he prefaced the stream that he wasn't going to show his top record. With him just saying that, I automatically knew it was not like us. But you could see his soul leave his body when he accidentally flashed the number one song, and it was not like us. He was trying to find every which way to explain himself, only making him look more guilty over the fact that, yeah, man, he truly does love Kendrick Lamar more than Drake.
The integrity of journalism is at in recent hip-hop history. Akademiks showed the camera this top 100 songs, and as soon as he realized that now the entire world has seen his number one most listened to track in 2024, which was Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, I mean, look at the guy's face. He knew it was over and that he's never going to get in Drake's good graces again, because from the way he quickly gets startled and then freaked out, you can just clearly see that
yeah, man, he got his hand caught in the cookie jar, which is something that has probably happened to Akademiks throughout his whole life.
Didn't want to show people this. And really, with the fact that before any Drake song was on this list, also
and Euphoria number 3 is also very telling.
Third most listened to song of the year. And when you look at this all together and you realize that Ak has been trying to push the narrative, that all of the hype from Not Like Us was manufactured, and that only machines are streaming it and not real people. The fact that it is now the song he has listened to most in 2024 is...
And he very hilariously blamed it on the bots.
Which is really the craziest plot twist that could have ever happened in Ak's world. And it seems like he already knew that now as the world had seen that over any Drake music, he has been bumping not one but two Kendrick Lamar songs that are directly responsible for ending and shattering Drake's career and reputation more than anything else. It seems like after the way things were already going for him and Drake, that Ak knows he is done here, and at this point, between everything he has been put through behind the scenes, in a way, after just embracing the fact that Not Like Us was his top listened to song, on some level it seems like he's not even fearing the consequences of Drake never trusting him again and feeding him information. And maybe this is because he's realizing that despite all he has done for Drake,
obviously he's come to the realization that he's never going to get that stream. He more than likely isn't going to get that interview. It's almost evident that Drake honestly does not like Akademiks, because it's not like his schedule isn't booked enough where he's not visiting other streamers, you know? And a lot of other very toxic streamers that really don't hit the same demographic that Akademiks has. So while Drake's reasoning might be that he's trying to appeal to other audiences that aren't directly hip-hop because of how the culture is viewing him right now, one cannot deny the fact that obviously Akademiks would want this with all the glazing he's been doing. He's definitely been Drake's biggest cheerleader. But for him to see Drake on like Aiden Ross's stream, for him personally pull up to XQC's pad to go stream with him, only to ask for W's in the chat and to be met with a stream of L's, man, it goes to show you how little Drake actually does like Akademiks if he's putting himself in that situation. And maybe he's given up on like hip-hop culture actually embracing them again, and he's going towards, I guess, that more pop market. But obviously, I do not feel like he's truly benefiting by going on any of these streams.
Because really, in this narrative-based era where the content and messaging Ak has been pushing out was supporting Drake and the position he has been trying to keep more than his actual music has for years. When you look at what Ak has done and what Drake has given him in return, he's really not done much for him, and beyond using him as a beneficial platform for his rap career, and sampling him on a track like Push-Ups, which I'm sure Ak did not receive any sort of ownership of the track for, and making it all sink in for Ak, Drake is always hanging out with other...
Well, if he is pissed off at Drake, more than likely he has grounds to sue for that, for sampling without his consent.
Big content creators and going on other people's streams who don't even have any sort of relationship with him in the first place. And he's seemingly done this before he even ever considers being seen with Ak. So really, with this entire situation,
it's because he sees what we all see. We all see Akademiks as one of the lamer guys in hip hop. So if he's trying to regain back any of that cool, I feel like the last person you would go sit down with is Akademiks. Even though, like I said, he's been Drake's biggest cheerleader, and I feel like he would fare a lot better in there than some of these other guys, where he's obviously going to be met with tons of backlash and hate.
And for both Drake and Akademiks, it's hard to tell who really looks worse here, because in the case of Drake, he made the person who was running one of the most pivotal parts of his entire operation this year to defeat and deface Kendrick Lamar's reputation. And really, again, and for Drake especially, where narratives online are so important, this may have been the most important job of them all. Somebody who seemingly likes his biggest rival's music way more than we have all thought, and for someone like Drake, who boasted about how calculated and on top of everything he was on a track like The Heart Part 6. Well, even more than ever, that was clearly a lie, because after a little research and digging, the internet found clips back from when Ak was on Everyday Struggle with Joe Budden and
And these clips, it's not very hard to find them, guys. They're all over the internet, and this is the footage that I was saying. Akademiks for years has been exalting Kendrick as the #1 guy, and I definitely feel like he lost a lot of integrity and credibility when he goes out saying the opposite of some of the stances he's had for years.
Wayno, where he said that Drake had no classic albums, and that Kendrick Lamar had
Exactly.
3, and also that Kendrick Lamar is just better than Drake straight up, and that Drake is soft for never addressing his issues with Kendrick Lamar in a direct way. And all of these are from 2017 to 2018, so this is really not even that long ago in the grand picture of it all.
And this is more than likely the reason why Drake really doesn't like Akademiks. Yeah, he's going to use Akademiks for his platform. He's going to sell him a dream that, yeah, maybe potentially they might be able to link up for an interview. But yeah, man, obviously Drake is very, very petty. He doesn't forget things. He's on top of what's being said about him on the internet, and he makes it known that he knows all this stuff by being so bothered.
So now looking back here and seeing how Ak's demeanor has switched over the years, and how despite being supposedly used as a puppet for Drake, before he became the Ak everyone knows
mutually
him as, and a
beneficial.
lot despise him for being today. He was a massive fan of Kendrick Lamar just a few years ago, and now knowing that he is still listening to his new songs this year more than anything that Drake put out, I mean, both of these guys just look like absolute clowns, because Ak is showing that he has no integrity as a voice in hip-hop media, as for whatever reason, despite his listening history and comments from years ago saying otherwise, he has pledged his allegiance to Drake and has entire pages ran by employees that are dedicated to helping shape his image within a stronger light. Meanwhile, behind the scenes and in the past, he has directly expressed that what he's been putting into the world now is not really reflecting how he feels. And I mean, for Drake, the fact that after trying to use one of the biggest voices in hip-hop media as a puppet to push the ideas and sentiments that you wanted to,
like I said, it's a mutual beneficial relationship. It's not like Akademiks isn't making serious bank by having all this first-hand knowledge. He's made millions this year off the beef, so we can't act like it's one-sided.
get out there, that on some level he may be against you and that his heart is really not in what he's saying. This isn't just a terrible look for Drake that's adding another reason to the long-running list of why he had one of the worst years any rapper of his size ever has.
Even your biggest cheerleader doesn't believe in you.
This beef was absolutely terrible. But after one of the themes and turning points in Kendrick and Drake's back and forth came from 616 in LA, where Kendrick rapped about the fact that people around Drake and within his circle are actually working for him, the fact that the supposed biggest supporter, advocate, and stan of Drake this entire time seemingly loves Kendrick Lamar and has been trying to hide it from us just makes this moment a little more powerful than it already was. And I think no matter how you look at this situation and what you want to interpret from it, for Akademiks just really being a joke in hip-hop, and for him now proving that this seemingly delusional loyalty to Drake and rage towards Kendrick Lamar, along with everything else he has done on a lot of levels, has been an act. Kendrick's bars from throughout this year, whether it was 616's line directly calling out that he can see something is up with Ak as he name-dropped him, or to him later saying with his Black Air Forces track that media personalities are pushing false narratives for their own financial benefit.
I could probably theorize that Akademiks probably reached out to Kendrick Lamar to give him some type of info, because why else would Kendrick Lamar drop that exact line? Because obviously people would rather be associated with the winner.
We are just seeing in real time another layer get uncovered to the stuff Kendrick has been rapping about, and with both Drake and Akademiks, with the way their relationship has already been moving and the way Drake fans and OVO have been turning on Ak already, from here this can really change the way Ak may approach everything going forward, because it's definitely shaken up a lot of his relationships behind the scenes. And for Drake, while he already only used Akademiks for his own benefit, and it's clear that he doesn't want to be friends with the guy on any level, now I'd imagine that Ak may be added to the long-running list of people who he is not on good terms with. And really, after seeing the way this year has went in hip-hop, and now seeing this moment where the rapper and personality who tried to fool the culture and hold it within a state where the bar of quality had never been lower, are just having their entire careers and relationship crumble as the truth is coming to light, overall just really seems like the most fitting way for these two frauds in their own rights to have some of the biggest fall-offs we have seen in quite some time. And so now with all of that said,
I've been saying it for a while. If you keep compromising on your integrity, if you keep compromising your credibility by reporting in a very biased, very obvious manner, people are going to recognize that. People are making it seem like you can spoon feed people anything and they're just going to believe it just because of the size of your platform. That's not the case. And while you still may have those viral moments, because honestly, a lot of people on the internet will be entertained by a huge crash out, it doesn't mean people respect your opinion anymore. So it's definitely one of the trade-offs when you're giving up your credibility for the money.
Let me know. What do you think about Axe secretly being a fan of Kendrick Lamar's music, and how do you think this shakeup between him and
Oh,
Drake
he a
is going to
fan.
change things going forward?
DJ Akademiks is definitely a fan. He definitely saw where his bread was buttered, so he definitely leaned into supporting Drake because I don't think even if Akademiks wanted to, he would be able to have the same relationship, even though it was almost non-existent, with somebody like Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar obviously does not want to be associated with anybody like Akademiks because the guy keeps calling him out. But that doesn't mean that Akademiks still isn't supplying some sort of information to stay in Kendrick's good graces. Obviously, Akademiks has been trying to clean this up because it's very beneficial for him to get this like stream of information directly from Drake. But I do think that Drake has moved on from Akademiks. Obviously, having Ack as your spokesperson did terrible. Like, you made yourself look lamer and honestly lost even more credibility when the guy that's championing you is also looking like a fool. So I don't really see him getting any more info from Drake. Who knows? Time will tell. It's not like Drake is above using certain people. You know what I mean? But this is more of what I've been thinking. I don't think Drake likes Akademiks at all. I think he sees him just as lame as a lot of other people do. And I think Akademiks accidentally revealing that Not Like Us was his top record, and his body language and the way he was reacting about it being found out going to be something that's obviously going to rub Drake the wrong way. Like, we all know Drake to be very, very sensitive. This is definitely something that even if he's still using Akademiks, it's definitely something on the back of his mind. But yeah, man, I think Akademiks' credibility has been shot way before any of this happened. You could clearly see it. And with Drake jumping on every other stream but his, man, obviously we know what type of time it is, fam. The guy basically has cut ties with you. The guy would rather go on another stream and receive all that hate than go on the one streamer that has been cheerleading for him the whole time. Akademiks definitely deserves the ranking of general in the Overhill army. But all this just further cements my belief that, yeah, man, Akademiks was doing this for the money. The dude is obviously a Kendrick fan, and while I do still think he does like Drake, obviously, I do think that even he believes that Kendrick Lamar is the superior MC, a superior rapper, and I don't really think any of it's changed, even if he wants to say otherwise. Akademiks, you can lie to us, but you can't lie to yourself, fam. The look on your face and your body language, man, gave us all we needed to see and hear. Definitely let me know what you guys think. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button, guys. It does the channel wonders. I want to thank you guys so much. When I had originally set out making content, I gave myself a goal of 1,000 subs by year's end. And guys, we're almost 5 times that in 8 months. So it's all thanks to you guys, honestly. I want to thank you guys so much for making this channel a part of your day. I'm honestly beyond grateful for all your love and support. I'm definitely looking forward to what you guys have to say on this situation. And I hope you guys love this video, and I hope to see you guys soon. Yeah, I've been telling everybody that this is all a ruse.